Yet another year and yet another Assassin's Creed, but this time Ubisoft is doing something a little bit different with its most popular franchise. It's looking to its past to reinvent its future, and it's taking Assassin's Creed into the 18th century. That's French Revolution, that's Paris as the playground, and we couldn't be more excited about Unity as it heads to Xbox One.
Basically, what Ubisoft Montreal has done is gone back to the core values of what they originally planned with Assassin's Creed. And those core values were stealth, embodying the role of an assassin,
Yep.
and really interacting with crowds in an interesting way. Those were kind of the three core pillars.
Yeah.
Now, you could have some argument as to how well they achieved any of those in the original Assassin's Creed, and certainly they've kind of gone away from them since then. Black Flag really had very little in the way of crowd work. It was mostly about being a pirate, not an assassin.
Yeah.
Kind of hard to be as stealthy when you're on a massive boat.
Yeah, exactly. So this time, they're basically throwing that all away because you can't sail a boat through the middle of Paris. That's just not going to work. Instead, you're this guy, Arno, and he is sort of this kid that's been wronged, and he's growing up in this really violent era of history. Assassin's Creed always done fantastically with sort of taking big important areas of history and just sort of morphing it to their sort of needs and wants. And this story is sort of, again, Assassin's Creed 2 style, like this tale of sort of building yourself up, finding redemption, and sort of, you know, pushing this new Assassin's World Order against the Templars and the people that are trying to wrong you. And I think Unity is really doing some interesting things with both stealth and the story that Assassin's Creed fans have probably forgotten that, you know, the game was so sort of wrapped around those originally.
A big sort of new inclusion or a big sort of development of Assassin's Creed Unity is more internal areas, which gives you more scope for hiding in rooms, hiding around corners, and having to be a little bit more tactical about how you approach things.
Totally. I mean, I think, you know, a big thing they're doing this time out, so they've got a brand new engine. It's the Anvil engine. Apparently they've been working on it, or at least elements of it, since 2010's Brotherhood, so it's been in development for a couple years now. And they're basically redefining the sort of three core pillars of Creed's sort of movement. It's navigation, combat, and stealth. Stealth, a big change. They're actually putting a stealth button in, so you can tap that. You can drop into like this sort of, you know, sneaking stealth mode, move between cover, which is obviously going to be great when you're sort of slinking around inside these interiors, which, if I remember correctly, I think they said sort of like 40% of all buildings in Paris are going to have interiors which you can, for the first time, seamlessly move into, which seems like such a small facet of the game, but it just sounds ridiculously amazing considering how beautiful this game looks.
Yeah, absolutely. And particularly when you also consider that you can sort of parkour your way from rooftop into room.
Yes.
Just absolutely seamlessly, and then back out again. And so it's going to really add another element to the whole chasing element of the game.
Of course, well, I mean, that plays into the navigation changes they're making. You can finally parkour down, which, again, doesn't seem like a huge deal, but now you're not, like, scouting for haystacks and just trying to, like, carefully hop down from environments, which was ridiculous. So they finally fixed that, which is awesome, because it's about time, you know. They've released God knows how many games over the last 7 years in this franchise, and the fact that you can now only move down is pretty good.
Yeah, and it is absolutely gorgeous looking. I mean, quite apart from the fact that they've recreated Paris in a 1-for-1 scale, so it's absolutely huge. The textures, the lighting in particular is absolutely superb. It looks really great, and really brings even more realism to the game than before. And I think the other really great thing, and it's just jaw-dropping when you see it, is the immensity of the crowds that you'll be dealing with.
Yeah, I mean, you know, they previously able to do like 100-person crowds maximum. Now Anvil's pushing it up to like 1,000, and that's just insane because it actually just looks like the ground is swelling with this anger and hatred in Paris, which is awesome because you're going to be able to like get in the crowds. Once you're in there, you're in a full stealth mode. You're not having to sort of go up and pray with some monks, get past some guards. Once you're in that crowd, it is like just a battle of attrition trying to get through it while guards are trying to chase you. It looks really just involving and like realistic in a way Assassin's Creed's never been before.
The other important thing is you get to use the crowd as a weapon almost.
Yeah.
So because it's a period of revolution, if you go up in front of an angry mob and you kill a guard, chances are that mob's then going to just absolutely flow out behind you, storm whatever building it was you were looking at. So you can really incite the mob. You can do all sorts to kind of use them as part of your tactics as you go about your missions.
Yeah, and I guess it's not only just these general huge crowds that you can use sort of as a weapon, but just the smaller assassins crowds. You know, I think 4's a crowd, right?
Yeah, why not? If 2's company and 3's a crowd, so yeah, I guess what was 4?
What was a party?
Okay.
Okay, so yeah, you got a party of assassins with you, so you can team up with 3 of your buddies, you can head out into Paris, you can go on some assassin-y missions, you can just sort of roam around, you can go out on these really awesome looking co-op missions. They're called Brotherhood missions, so basically you're going to go to a tavern, you're going to meet up with your buddies, and then go out on these specifically designed quests to get new items, new customizations, new gears for Arno that you can take back into the single player. And it does look like a genuine revolution of this core Assassin's Creed formula they've been slowly building up over the last 7 years. And I, for one, cannot wait to see how this co-op actually impacts the core Assassin's Creed formula.
And everything you take from single player, you say, goes back into the co-op
Yes.
experience. So you customize your character, and that character goes into the co-op experience. Whatever you're wearing, whatever, it's all there. It's all your own equipment. It includes the weapons you choose and the combinations you come up with, which is incredibly important because combat has really taken up another step up this time.
Yeah, combat has been de-evolving across the franchise entirely. So we've seen Assassin's Creed 3 basically killed it in many respects. You know, at this point, guards are no longer going to be essentially waiting to be countered. You know, they always would just stand in line and waiting to be stabbed in the throat. That's not the case anymore. They're basically putting in different enemy types, almost looking towards the Arkham games as inspiration. You're finally going to have to sort of parry and, you know, actually consider your attacks and manage crowds of guards instead of just sort of casually making your way through them, which is a wonderful, wonderful revolution. It all goes to show you what a developer can do when they're not worried about the generation leap. You know, this isn't coming to Xbox 360. It is just coming to Xbox One. You know, the team at Ubisoft Montreal has been working on this for years. And it's really showing now, you know, Unity is bringing all of these concepts together that they've been trying to build up over 7 years. And it's putting them into one package that everyone should find something they can enjoy out of this Assassin's Creed game.
Yeah, it's looking bigger and better than ever, and I'm really looking forward to playing it this October.